Once a month, we cook for 300 hungry teenagers and adults, all without a functioning kitchen to cook in. In this video, I want to invite you to follow along with us as we prep, cook, and serve 300 people and how we couldn't do it without our tribe. I'm David Gafford, and here at the BBQ Lab, we want you to be confident cooking in the backyard, even to the point where you'd start serving your friends and community like we're doing here in this video. We help you by making sure that you have the right gear, that you understand how to use that gear, and we perfect the recipes that you can use to know that you're going to get the same results that we do every time. Here's the obstacle that we face in this particular venue. There's a kitchen available with stainless steel tables, a 3-bay sink, ice machine, and a fridge and freezer. What's completely lacking here is any way to cook food for a crowd. There's an oven that works sometimes, so we really can't count on warming food in this beauty, and a very small range on top that isn't remotely large enough to be helpful when you're feeding 300 plus people. In order to pull this off, we need to bring our own cooking appliances, prep everything we can ahead of time, like sauces that we would normally heat on the range, and we need to activate our tribe to make it all happen in a 2.5-hour window. What we didn't know is that there was another obstacle in front of us that we weren't expecting that would derail this entire project. But I'm getting ahead of myself. The plan is happy holidays since we're just a few weeks out from Christmas and New Year's. We're planning barbecue meatballs that will cook on the Lone Star Grill's cabinet pellet smoker. Once those come off, we're going to make Hawaiian ham and Swiss sliders that will go in the cabinet next. Then we're making queso blanco and tortilla chips as the third appetizer, and we're rounding it all off with some cheesy garlic flatbread that we'll be making in our Univolt 12 electric pizza oven. Can we pull it all off before an army of hungry kids arrive ready to devour everything in their path? Well, let's find out. It's 4 hours before time to serve, and since we don't really have a range that we can work with to pull sauces together, we're going to try to leverage the sous vide and vacuum sealer to get our sauces to temperature. Now, growing up, my family threw a bunch of large get-togethers, and one of the staples that you'd find on the menu was barbecue meatballs. The sauce is simple. It's 10 ounces of grape jelly and 12 ounces of chili sauce mixed together until it melts, and that's it. Nothing too complicated when you have a range, but without one, that's really a different story. I'm going to mix triple batches of this sauce into a vacuum seal bag and use the JVR Vac 100 to seal that bag. I've set our Anova sous vide to 197.5 degrees, which is as high as it will go, and I'm letting the sauce heat up in the immersion bath for a few hours before we head to the event. I was going to do the same for the poppy seed butter sauce that goes over the sandwiches, but since our home sous vide isn't big enough for both sauces, we pivoted to using a crock pot. I'll put the recipe down in the description, but just know that it's a lot of butter, so you know it's gonna be good. I asked the guys to meet me here at the lab to load up the Lone Star Grill's pellet cabinet since this thing isn't light, and a buddy of mine has a zero-load trailer that makes it easy to be able to get to the venue. Now, we're also taking along the Univolt as well to give ourselves an oven that we can work with. Now, it's only a 12-inch oven, but I think you'll be surprised what we can do with it for 300 people. The team of volunteers that are helping pull this off is from my small group from church. They come over once a week, and I teach them new recipes and techniques to help them gain confidence in front of the grill and smoker. Now, they also help me out once a month when we cook for 300 kids, so it's putting their new skills to practice in a large-scale event. Now, there's nothing like refining your skills when the pressure of a live event is looming. Now, you'll hear me use the term tribe to describe these people, and this really comes back to our true mission at the BBQ Lab. If you'd like to see more of what this tribe has done to use outdoor cooking to support one another, click the link up in the card here or the description below to watch that video. We're setting the grill up in front to build a little anticipation for the event. There's nothing like walking in and seeing a massive smoker on golf cart tires to get you excited about what's to come, and it even works on teens, not just guys over 40. The first order of business is to get a couple of steam tables going to melt our queso blanco. Les is heading up the queso team, and there's a coffee maker on site that gives us boiling water, so getting warmers up to temp happens pretty quick. We're cubing up the cheese and adding milk, putting a lid on top, and then we're designating someone to pray over it to make sure it melts on time. In just a second, I'm going to show you how we prep 3 other dishes, but first I want to pass a question off to you. Tell me in the comments below, what's keeping you from branching out and serving the people in your tribe like this? Is it gear? Is it training? A place to make it happen? Tell me what your obstacles are in your path that keep you from using food to gather people together. And let's continue the conversation down in the comments. The smoker is set to 400 degrees, and the first thing on is the meatballs. These are just frozen meatballs from Sam's Club, and I have them in half-sheet trays to get them up to serving temperature. As I'm putting the trays on the grill, I realize that it's taking the smoker longer to get to temperature than I was planning, since it's a real field temp of 10 degrees outside with gusting winds in the 40-mile-per-hour range. This, I was not planning on. Now, running any smoker in this weather isn't ideal, but the wind is something else out here. Hey, by the way, if you're getting value out of this video, hit the like button and subscribe if you want more videos just like this one. With the meatballs on the smoker, it's time to assemble the hot Hawaiian ham and cheese sandwiches. These are 32 count packs of Hawaiian rolls that we slice in half and layer with honey ham and Swiss cheese slices. We can fit 32 in each full-size aluminum pan, and the guys are making it look easy. While the prep kitchen is still humming though, we have a team working to set up the serving buffet. Sternos and water pans are set up for each dish to keep things hot during service, and an electric warmer is staged to receive any of our dishes as they finish. This is one piece of equipment that really makes things easier on us, and if you can get your hands on one, I highly recommend having one around when you're serving a crowd. Now, you can also use hot boxes like these that we keep on hand, but I'll take electric with an active heating element if I get to choose. We have finished up our first Kickstarter to get our barbecue seasonings into bottles, and if you were a part of that Kickstarter, we've already shipped out all of the tier rewards, so keep an eye on your inbox and mailbox. Over the next few videos, we're going to give some shout outs to our backers, and this week we want to give a huge shout out to Joel Ballou, who joined us at the Founders Circle level. Joel will be getting his name on a custom Founders Circle plaque here at the Barbecue Lab, and we can't thank you enough, Joel, for being a part of our campaign to help launch our first physical products. It means so much that you jump in at the highest level, and we look forward to delivering your rewards to you personally very soon. If you missed out on our Kickstarter, the good news is that our online storefront will be opening in January, thanks to our backers just like Joel. So keep an eye on the channel, and we'll share more very soon. Now, the last dish to pull together is the garlic cheesy flatbread, and we've got to get the oven going early to fight the weather. Now, the Univolt is an indoor oven, but since I didn't want to chance setting off the fire alarm with 300 plus people in the building, we're setting it up just outside the serving area. It only takes 20 minutes to get this oven up to 800 degrees, so it will be ready 30 minutes prior to the service time. The team assembled the flatbreads by smearing some garlic butter on and sprinkling mozzarella cheese on each individual flatbread crust, and we were ready to go as soon as the oven hit the right temperature. It's 30 minutes before serving time, the queso blanco is melted, the weather is giving the overloaded grill a hard time, so I'm taking off a few trays to improve airflow to get these meatballs done in time. Now, since we have the warming cabinet, it's time to start stockpiling garlic cheesy flatbread using the uni. The par-baked crusts are ready in just 90 seconds, so we can make these about as fast as we can get people through the service line. Now, the system that we found that works the best is to take out a cutting board with a pizza ready to load into the oven and just switch the finished pizza with one that's ready to bake. Scott and I took on this task, and to say it was cold and snowy work was an understatement. The meatballs took much longer than anticipated, which meant that we needed to switch the plan from the smoker and call in the oven from the prep kitchen. Now, luckily, this time the oven worked and we heated sandwiches 2 pans at a time. I learned the hard way that in a cabinet-style pellet smoker, you can't overload it with half-sheet trays and still expect it to circulate air very well. Now, it's completely my fault and I learned a lesson here. Now, I'm glad the warming oven came in clutch with Justin just making it happen here in overtime. I'm really glad that we made the sauces ahead of time because a quick snip of the bag of barbecue sauce made it easy to sauce the meatballs, and a couple of quick ladles of poppy seed butter sauce on top of warm sandwiches was made super simple by having it ready in the crock pot. At the end of the day, we served 4 different appetizers to over 300 people in freezing cold weather by cooking outside. Does it prove that we're crazy? Probably. Does it show how much we love our tribe and want to serve our local community? I certainly hope so. We've cooked for this crowd 18 times over the past year and a half, and this is the most ambitious meal we've tackled yet. Now, if you enjoyed following along with us, let us know down in the comments below, and we'll see if we can't shoot some upcoming cooks so you can see more behind the scenes. I'm David with the BBQ Lab. These people are my tribe that I do life with day in and day out, and I want to say thanks for tagging along while we serve our community. Melissa and I wish you a very happy holiday, and we can't wait to see you on the next one.